You know, it wasn't too awful long ago that the idea of a home movie meant you had to have one of these guys, VHS, and you were limited. A home movie typically just meant one steady shot or multiple shots on one tape that weren't edited, unless you had a lot of money and could afford a linear editing suite or two VHS decks to go one-on-one, or maybe even three if you were really lucky. Then with the advent of digital cameras and FireWire and quick transfer data rates, it was possible to do something on this guy and send it to this guy. This is an iMac G3, which you're probably familiar with already. Originally, when this was purchased, according to the box that I have in the closet, it had a 10 gigabyte hard drive, which was phenomenally huge, and about, I think it said 512 megabytes of RAM. I've modified this to be a little bit more Ferrari. She's got a gigabyte of RAM now, and she's got a full 120 gigabyte hard drive through an SSD, so she's a little bit quicker. However, editing on this, I've never done. Never shot anything for this because what I film on my camera doesn't work with this. It's too old of a technology. So I kind of had to dumb down a little bit. And I thought it'd be a lot of fun for you and I to sit down together and try to edit something that I shot on this, but with this. I had to download iMovie 3, which was a pain in the butt, but I got it working. And through a little bit of trickery, I was able to get it to where I can got the files off my little tiny camera here and put them on this little flash drive. It might take a hot minute to transfer them, but we're going to try. So I get to use the legendary iMac G3. It's running OSX Tiger, or OSX.4. If I bring it up right now too, it should actually tell me about this Mac. Not the speediest of computers. Yeah, it's 10.4.11 with a 400 megahertz power PC and 1 gigabyte of shadow RAM, or SDRAM. So I get to use the legendary Puck mouse. This guy. Actually, it's called USB mouse, but it's always lovingly referred to as the Puck mouse. I get to use one of my favorite keyboards, the Mac Blueberry keyboard that sold with this guy, came bundled with this guy. And so I shot a couple of things last night on this camera. And let's get them transferred over to the Macintosh now. And let's just see what it was like to edit video on an extraordinarily archaic system. Now, they did have digital nonlinear editing suites back in the day, but they were hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not even more expensive. Oh, it's upside down, my bad. And yes, I'm going to be editing this in Suit, so let's see how well that goes. So there's the Roadrunner. I'm going to open it. Oh. I need to... Actually, I have to go up here to View and clean up. There's all my files. So some of these picture files, I'm going to edit to a little bit of a slideshow. Then the AVI files are me making tea for Razu. One of my friends had a plush made of one of his characters, so I thought I couldn't think of anything else better to shoot at 1 o'clock in the morning, so that's what I shot, was making tea for a toy. Like I said, like Avid and many of those professional editing suites cost thousands of dollars. You'd have to have tape decks and massive hard drives, whereas this allowed for the first time you to do it at home. And this particular iMac is called the iMac DV model. It's got a digital video out on the back. So theoretically, you could have connected it to your television in some way or to a larger display somewhere in the home and let everyone see it. I'm going to create a new folder. I'll call that folder Video iMac G3. Let me get everything moved over here to that. And click and drag those to there. Let's just see how long it takes to move 11 megabytes. It says about 10 seconds. So I'm going to select these two guys, drag them over, and select the rest of this, and drag it over. About 3 minutes to move 104 megabytes. These are phenomenally small. I think I shot them on even just substandard, like 200 something resolution on here. It's phenomenally small just for the sake of being able to edit. The audio is going to be terrible. I'll put a music bed or something underneath it. I'll find something. Still loading. I have a beach ball.
20 minutes later.
Okay, everything's over now on the desktop, and I can unplug the Roadrunner. Drag and drop that and pull that out. Now originally what I would have had to use is a camcorder or something, plugged it into the FireWire port there on the side and gotten the video over that way. Cheating a little bit because I don't have a camcorder with a FireWire 400 output. If you or someone you know want to give me a camcorder with FireWire 400, please message me privately. So now I'm going to bring up iMovie. Just to show y'all, it's iMovie 3 version 3.0.3. So this is as old as we can get for the most part. And I'm going to see if I can render this and then play it for you. And we'll tag that on at the somewhere in this video. I just don't know where yet. I'm kind of shooting this as I go. So I'm going to grab all these guys and just click and drag into iMovie. So the things I took pictures of last night was I have a couple of Disney popcorn buckets. I thought it'd be fun to make a little quick slideshow of them. And like I said too, I made tea for a toy of that is a character of a friend of mine. A little hard to come up with ideas in the middle of the night, and I don't exactly have something to bring home movies off of here anymore. So. And there you can see it's kind of populating those pictures of the popcorn buckets I told you about. Now I already know that one of the more annoying things about this is that I don't have keyboard shortcuts like I'm used to. I'm used to Command B to cut, Command C, Command V, and Command Z still work for copy, paste, and undo. But the keyboard shortcuts don't exist in this version of iMovie yet. That wouldn't come till much later, I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm not an expert at iMovie. This is literally the first time I'm using it. I kind of played around with a little bit of it to figure out if I could make this video before I just disgraced myself. And it wouldn't work on the original. It wouldn't work on OS 9. I couldn't get anything to load into it. I'm guessing OS 9 just didn't have the power for it. It kept wanting to update QuickTime. And I just thought it'd be a lot faster to put iMovie 3 on here and go into OS X Tiger and edit on that. I guess now would be a great time to remind you that if you enjoy this kind of content, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know how I'm doing, if this is the kind of stuff you enjoy. So let's get started first with doing a little bit of a slideshow with the popcorn buckets that I talked about. I've got a couple of shots of each, nothing great. I wasn't trying for anything artistic, but we're going to treat it like we're seeing family slideshow.
1 hour later.
Oh, it only took about an hour for it to finish rendering the 8 photos I put into it. So let's go on and start our slideshow starring my popcorn buckets that I've purchased. So what we'll do here is I'm going to just go ahead and grab, let's do this one first. I'm going to click, there we go. Bring it to timeline. Click and drag Popcorn Mickey, bring him down here. I'm going to click and drag the other Popcorn Mickey, bring him down here. And the other Popcorn Mickey, and click and drag him and bring him down here. So roughly 15 seconds of video. And look, it's zooming in for me. It's doing that nice little Ken Burns effect, which is still in Macintoshes today. Now, why did it stop? Maybe I have to select all three. It looks like I have to select all three. If I go to movie, will it play all three? Okay, yep, it's only going to play the one. So looks like I'm going to have to highlight all three. So I go back to timeline. And I'm going to, let's trim this just a little bit. So it said, I'm going to put that, I want those popcorn buckets to only be up there for 2 seconds each. So I'm going to bring that to there, hit edit, split clip it playhead, and I'm going to delete that section. So I'm going to bring this playhead to 4 seconds total, and I'm going to split clip at playhead. Then at 6 seconds total, I'm going to try Control T. Control T. There we go. And I'm going to get rid of that one. So now I have 6 seconds of video total. Frickin' puck mouse. So now let's bring in 50th anniversary Mickey and 50th anniversary Minnie. And we'll get one side view of Mickey in there and one side view of Minnie. And I don't want him, so I'm going to delete him. And same thing, I'm going to just keep 2 seconds and then get rid of the next 3. We have roughly 12 seconds of video, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So let me go ahead, see if I could render this. Oh, it's recording my voice right now. That's different. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so let's go to Export to QuickTime and save this as *1 and let it render. So now it's rendering. We should get a full QuickTime file that we could then share with other people or get to a DVD burner. Here's my movie. Let's see if it works. It rendered pretty fast. That's pretty good. Well, now I have a movie. So let's go back into iMovie and do our little bit of editing with Razu. Now I shot these in order, but there will be a little bit of editing required for this. So let's get to work here. Why is that not working? There we go. So there I am with the teapot. So I'm going to go back just a little bit. And I'm going to do my trim to playhead. I'm going to get rid of that front header, delete. And let me select title here. And we're going to bring that down here. So there I am filling up the cup. That part. Turning it off, and then going off camera. So this should be me. So here I am. Now I'm going to be going to the stove and putting the kettle on and turning on the element. So here I intentionally paused for a moment because I want to do a quick jump cut to me turning on the heating element. So let me do quick edit. Here we go. So there's me turning on the thing. There we go. Trim to playhead. Delete. And let's bring in where I get the teapot ready. Can't you tell my hands are great actors? So there I'm going to do trim. Now I'm going to bring it back just a few seconds. No one's ever going to know. No one's ever going to know. And voila. Never even knew that there's exactly 6 or 7 seconds worth of video missing. And I put it in the teapot. And I'm not going to put the lid back on because I'm not an idiot. Because I'm about to put hot water in there. A lot of unnecessary waiting right there. So trim back just a little bit. So really, other than speed, there's not that much different. Now it is still limited by what the program could do. And for what this did at the time, It does a lot. Consider that. You could make home movies for once in your life on your home computer. That was unheard of. The best, like I said, you could do is, VCR to VCR. Now here comes my big creepy moment. I really hope you all appreciate how creepy this is. So I'm going to go ahead and trim the playhead here and play. Never forget the importance of lighting something at 2 a.m. So there's Razu. There's me giving her teacup. There's a lot of space in there, so I'm going to go back just a little bit. I'm going to trim the playhead, get out this front little section. And there we go, tea with Razu. Let's bring in some transitions. Can I bring in scale down? Can I bring that right there? Okay, cool. So I added a transition. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I do want to get this video done, and I've been in suit now for a couple of hours doing this. It's starting to get a little hot, even with just the air conditioner running at full blast. So let's call it a day here. We're going to go export file to QuickTime export. Oh, they're rendering. Okay, it looks like everything's done rendering, so let me try again. We're going to call this star 2 or star 3. Exporting movie. So I'm going to let this finish rendering, and I'll see you in the editing suite. It's now on this drive. Playing it back on the iMac G3 just proved a little bit too much for it to handle. Not compatible with modern QuickTime. Did not see that coming. So I got it fixed. It didn't really take all that long. I had to download VLC player and just convert it to a modern MP4 MOV. So got that working, and it checks out inside my modern day iMovie. So I'm going to go ahead and finish editing this whole thing. I'm going to tack on the 2 videos at the end of the video so that you can see them. And hopefully you enjoyed this episode where we got to edit on an old iMac G3. We got to experience all the terrors of the original iMovie. I'm sure that if I played around with it a lot more and it was my only source, that I could manage to do this and upload this to modern day YouTube somehow. It would just take a little finagling. I want to thank everyone, especially you, for tuning in. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below in the comment section if you enjoyed this video, if you've ever edited on old iMovie, or how you edit your movies, how you edit your family photos and your videos. Do you post them to YouTube? Do you not post them to YouTube? Just let me know in the comments below. Don't forget that I do have a coffee if you want to support me or the channel. I would appreciate it. Trying to save up to get a Thunderbolt drive for this thing, so those are a little pricey. And thank you for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Star Raccoon. Keep your stick on the ice.